A big hello to you. I hope I find you well. It's so great to see you. I'm Jennifer Kirk.
And I'm Zoe Kirk Robinson.
And we're here with the first video, hopefully first of many, on the JK2 channel. And this is a channel where we're going to be doing a lot more of the slightly more informal stuff. And you're going to see a lot of the cupboard monkey, aka Zoe, doing things. But today, you've set yourself a little bit of a challenge, have you not?
I have. I thought, given that we've been talking an awful lot lately about costs of living and budgeting, I thought, what if I set myself a challenge to create an entire N-Gage train under £100?
And did you?
Let's find out. So I recently set myself a challenge to try to put together an N-Gage train for £100 or less. And the first thing that I did was pick up this. It's from Daypol N-Gage at £16.50, and it's the second most expensive thing that I purchased for this attempt. It's a West Park Dairy Company 6-wheel milk tanker, and it's in a very shiny box, so we're going to get straight out to take a look. A little bit of plastic over the top to protect it, and then it's in this rather nice foam insert, which makes it very, very stable when it's in transit. So what we've got here is incredible detail, especially on an N-Gage. These days, N-Gage rivals 00 in terms of the detail you can get on it. It's a lovely little thing, and when I was in Arcadia Models, where I picked this up from, I kept looking at it and thinking, yeah, I want that in my collection. So here we are. I decided I would treat myself. Incredible. So what we got is a lovely runner. All 3 axles run perfectly fine, very smooth. The detail on it is incredible. And for £16.50, it's a little expensive in terms of N-Gage rolling stock from what I've seen in some places, but I think given the increase in prices lately, it's still well worth the money. I'm really, really loving this. So I'm very happy to add that to the set. But that wasn't all, because next up I decided that the best thing to do is to go all in and attempt to get a load of stuff on second hand. So I popped over to the Hatton's website because they were having a sale, and I picked up this 40-foot box car from Atlas in Rio Grande livery. Let's pop that out of the box. Very, very nice. Again, in protective plastic. It's a little less detailed in some ways, but what do you really expect for a big box van? It's going to be a bit boxy, but it runs really well. The wheels are pretty good. They look a little old and kind of brown, and maybe plastic, actually, now I'm thinking about it. So I'll probably want to look into replacing those at some point if I want to do a lot of running with this. But the detail and quality is excellent, so I'm very, very happy. And that came in at £10, so again, I think I've got rather good bargain there, which is very, very good from my point of view. I'm very happy with it. Again, runs very nicely. A little bit lightweight, but I'm thinking you could probably put a bit of extra weight into there and it'll be just fine. I am very, very happy to add that to the set. You might notice that I've gone for American with this stuff, and I kept that up because next up we have a lifelike Hooker Chemicals tank car. This is a 3-dome tank car which I picked up for £7, and this one has a bit of an issue to it. Now this is the first time I've actually taken it out of the box because I noticed straight away that one of the wheel axles is missing. Now these are metal wheels, and I'm wondering whether it'll be easy enough to replace those wheels. It looks like at some point this is that's back into position. This has had a crash or something because that was stuck over to one side, but no, it's back and it's moving again. So there we are. That's going to be an issue. I probably can replace all the wheels. Jen suggests that actually that would make it run better. So that may be an option, but look at the quality of the detail. That looks great. I'm very impressed with it. Again, lots of detail and should run reasonably well once the wheels are replaced. I mean, I have to get the same size and radius and all that, but these look to be pretty simple disc wheels, so shouldn't be too hard to replace those. fairly cheap. They get a packet of wheels as well. So that is an option, or an alternative. I could send it back to Hatton since they didn't advertise it as having a missing axle. But that really looks good, and once the wheels are there, that should be excellent for running in a train. And for £7, can't really complain about that, aside from the wheel. So what else did I pick up? Well, no American train would be complete without a caboose. So what I've got here is a wood-sided caboose, and it's from Microtrains. How do you open it? There it is. Squeeze on the side, and then it pops open. Again, a little bit of plastic to cover it on the top, provide some protection. Jen thought in the photograph that this looked incredibly toy-like, but I think the photograph just doesn't do it justice. This is detailed. It's got a wonderful set of wooden slats on the side, wood effect, so it's got a bit of texture to it. It looks great. The detail is lovely. I'm really impressed with it, actually. It's got a lot going for it, and at £9, I really can't begrudge that. That is great value for money. So there we go. A wonderful, nice running caboose. Again, plasticky wheels, but never mind. The only issue with this that I've got compared to the others is those are KDs instead of standard N-gauge connections. So you can see the difference if I put these together. They're not going to connect up. So that is going to be an issue if you're buying second-hand American stuff in the UK, because some people change the connectors and some don't. So you're going to have to watch out for that. And again, replacement connectors aren't too hard to pick up. But it is worth factoring that in when you're putting together a train. But that wasn't all. I still got another piece of running stock because, well, you can't put a train together without a few bits of running stock. And this one was a fun one. When I saw this, I really had to have it. This is a 40-foot steel reefer Heinz wagon, or freight car as they would be called in the US, in Heinz livery. And I had to get this because I love this kind of stuff. It's just fun. So what we got here is Heinz 57 varieties, pickles, Euclid figs, onions, etc. So I really like this. It's just nice. And someone has actually put extra weight in that. It's not weighted down though, which is an issue. So I might have to open this up and have a look. But again, nicely detailed, and at £9, couldn't really complain. Lovely piece of kit there. But yeah, that is rather heavy compared to the others, but the weight inside is rolling around. So I might just open it up and use a little small piece of sticky foam pad to hold that down. Really nice though. And again, plasticky wheels. That seems to be a recurring thing about N-gauge. Plastic wheels. I probably am going to end up replacing a lot of these wheels. Because if you look at the UK one, metal. Much, much better. These are, of course, second-hand and therefore older, so it may be different these days, but I really do think I might have to change some of those. But I'm very impressed with that. Very, very nice. But you might have noticed one thing. We've got a van, or a freight car, and a freight car, and a tanker, and a tanker, and a caboose. What's missing? Would it be the thing that runs them all? So, please stand back, and yes, I have got all of this for under 100. So this is Bachmann USA, who are apparently regarded as a little bit more toy-like than some of the other manufacturers, which is weird when you think about Bachmann in the UK and how they're high quality. So it just goes to show there are differences between American and British. Here we go. This is an N-gauge 400 Great Northern, and it is a beauty, an absolute beauty. When I saw this, I knew I had to have it. It has metal wheels, immense amounts of detail, looks so great. Look at that interesting shape. It's got a kind of delta on the back. It's very, very cool. I just love this. Now, there are a few issues with it that have been marked up on the paperwork. It says that the sun visors have been detached from the cab, but they're in the box, just there. So if I want to put them in, I can. It's got all the paperwork and everything. So this is a really nice piece of kit. It's heavy. It looks wonderful. The only thing is the sun visors. And to be honest with you, if they hadn't mentioned them, I wouldn't have noticed. Looks like it's going to run very, very nicely. I am incredibly impressed, and especially at £34 for this beautiful locomotive.
So there you go. And I must admit, when you set out on this challenge, I thought that actually you were going to struggle. £100 isn't, in this day and age, it's not an awful lot. And certainly in Double O, you really struggle with that. But you did quite well. In fact, you came in under budget.
Yes, £86.50. I was actually surprised that I could do this. And I knew that N-gauge rolling stock was usually not too expensive. But the amount I managed to get, and the locomotive as well, and the quality of the locomotive was actually very surprising.
So, are we going to see some future projects with this? You're going to build something for this to run on, and that's probably the most important. It's no good having a train if you haven't got somewhere to run it.
I've got a locomotive. How can I run it somewhere? The idea is I'm going to build 2 layouts. One is going to be the project that we've been talking about on the Monday Club a lot, which is a layout that you can put in a backpack and take with you. I want to make that a kind of Southern England seaside town kind of layout that could also, with a little bit of jiggery-pokery, make a continental layout.
And that's why you've been buying American stuff.
No. And the other is the American one that I want to make, which is going to be more like a shelf layout. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and I think I'll go for that one first, because the way I'm envisaging it is like a layer, maybe 2 layers, and it wouldn't be quite as complex as the one that has to travel. So that might be a good introduction. Jen, will you be along for the ride to show me how?
Yeah, I'll certainly stand in the background and go, didn't want to do that then. But no, this is going to be fun, all joking aside. And of course, here on the JK2 channel, you're going to see a lot more of the Cupboard Monkeys little builds. And it's going to be interesting to see, because you're not exactly a novice, but you've not had a huge amount of experience.
Yeah.
So it's a great way of seeing how easy it is to build up your skill set.
That's the hope.
To actually produce some great models as we go. So there we are, the challenge is down, and
the gauntlet has been thrown and it has been picked up.
Yes, because we don't litter.
Absolutely.
But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk,
and me, Zoe Kirk-Robinson,
saying you take great care, happy modelling, and bye for now. I'd like to send out a huge thanks to everybody who supports me on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to Anthony Kidson, Offshore Allen, Michael Lockie, Helen Sink, Gary Lewis, David Quinn, Sparky 107107, George Botterini, Chris Moss, Robert Steers, Sam Yates, Dale Williams, John N from NC, NYMRish, Jonathan Foster, Peter, Clifford Ison, Larry W. Grant, NI Railways 4000 class, Ian Coulson, Alan Dickerson, Eddie Popper, Karen Nichol, Medwin Williams, Crossways Point Junction, 3B Rail, Jennifer Horton, Trains with Nick, and Simon Snow. Thank you. Without you guys, I couldn't do this.